Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Peter. Peter is from Sweden in England, in the UK. So let's see what Peter has to say. Enjoy the interview.
There we go. Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hello, Pete. How are you?
Hello. Very well, thank you. Yourself?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
No problem at all.
So tell me, how's your day going so far?
So far, yeah, good. It's Saturday, and I'm doing very middle-aged things. It's housework. I've got to finish off upstairs. So after this interview, I've got the very exciting job of cleaning the bathroom. Rock and roll lifestyle, me.
Okay. So tell me, what has been the highlight of your week so far?
Oh, highlight of the week. Actually, it's I have a knee injury currently, and I went to a physio for it, and it's coming along really, really well. So I should be able to get back to the jiu-jitsu mats 2-3 weeks time, hopefully.
Amazing.
So yeah, that's the highlight.
Amazing. And tell me, where are you from, Peter?
So I'm born and bred in Swindon in the UK,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a town in the UK which is there's not much going on in it, but it's handy for where it's located, and it's always been good to me for jobs and such and social life. So sort of ended up staying here, bought a house here, and probably will finish off here. Very boring.
How far are you from London?
About 70 miles.
Okay. And all your family live there as well?
And so most of the family or direct family is here, apart from my brother who's in Australia.
Oh, wow. Far away.
Yeah, just a bit.
So tell me something interesting about Sweden. Tell me something about the city that stands out, or what's the postcard of Sweden?
So I mean, Swindon itself, modern Swindon is just a dormitory town for London. Historical Swindon used to be really like the centre of steam trains for the Great Western Railway up until about the 1980s, and then it all sort of closed from there and is now a shopping centre.
Big change.
Just a big change. Yeah. It is a very it's a commuter town, really. That's what it is nowadays.
Actually, I have a lovely man from there actually not long ago, and he told me as well about that. I just remember now about the historical thing, about the train thing. I remember now he's saying.
Yeah.
And what do you do for work, for living?
So I sell automatic equipment for everything from gates to parking barriers to anti-terror bollards.
Interesting. Okay, so before we start our journey within the Magic Box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself, or maybe something that not many people know about you.
Oh, interesting about me. So I'm over 40 and I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for fun. I really enjoy it. And I would recommend anybody that's over 35 to give it a go. You're not over the hill. You can do it. You'll invest in your health, invest in your wealth.
Amazing. Actually, I'm from Brazil, and Jiu-Jitsu is big in Brazil. I'm sure you know that. I'm sure you know by now.
Very lucky to have 2 or maybe even 3 when I go back, Brazilian instructors, and they are incredible. They are incredible.
Yes. Growing up back in Brazil, I remember growing up in the 80s, I remember already, jiu-jitsu already happening, and people, on TV and everything. When I moved to Europe, I was like, oh my God, I didn't know how big jiu-jitsu is in Brazil, because people are talking about all the time. And I was like, oh, that's interesting to see. And how jiu-jitsu came into your life? How you started this?
Midlife crisis, actually. I'd lost a friend to cancer, and he was a few years older than me, and I was hitting 40, and I decided I needed to do something to invest in my health, because obviously I was getting to the second part of life, and I'd seen people do different martial arts, but I'm not going to get any prettier, so being smacked in the face. So Someone, I think I was, I think someone recommended me to have a look at jiu-jitsu, and I went for a taster session, and I've not stopped since. I've been very lucky to train under Hoist Gracie
Hmm.
and Chiron Gracie, and both incredible athletes. And highlight of my year that year was to meet them. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah, jiu-jitsu is very physical. It's very physical. You need to to be ready for it.
Oh yeah, and they never they only ever get younger.
Peter, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Let's go.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Full of random fun questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song just for us to relax before the first question, okay?
No worries.
Let's do it. Okay, before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to answer, you don't want to talk about, I always can change, okay?
No worries.
First question for you is, talking about age, what scares you the most about your future?
Ooh, so I think for that one would be is the loss of being able to do things. Um, Something that is very resonates with me is to try and invest in my health
Mhm.
so that I can continue doing as much as possible in for as long as possible. The old one of never be the youngest in a nursing home is is kind of where I go for.
Actually, when I was checking your profile, I saw a phrase there that got my attention. You talk about your age and also say there, got fed up of being heavy. Now you start a new journey. Tell me the moment when you realize that, okay, I need to, work on myself. I need to change my lifestyle. You mentioned already about friends, you lost friends, but there was something else that for you just kind of light up. You said, okay, let me change my lifestyle.
Yeah, it was I was about 37, so about 5 years ago now, and I looked at myself in the mirror, and I was starting to turn L-shaped. I had this sort of dad gut, and I was getting older. My hair was going, well, when I had hair, it was going back, and I realized that I should start investing in my health. And so I picked up the gym. I dropped some weight, and I suddenly had more energy, and also up here felt healthier as well. Um, and yeah, it was not a not a turning point first of all, because I don't think you realize you start turning. It's almost like a large ship. It takes a
Mhm.
while to start moving. But once you realize, wow, actually, when you see some of your friends and that, and you're like, right, well, let's go muck around with the kids or something like that, and you're making one walk on the ceiling or something, and I couldn't do that. Well, I can, and I'm still proud of being able to do that.
It's amazing when we change our lifestyle, and as you said, the first thing is about energy. You start feeling so much energy that you never felt before. You know what I mean? It's
Very
great. It's just changed your habits, and not easy. Yeah, not easy because it's a discipline around there. But when you start seeing the results, you just go like, yes, I'm going the right direction.
exactly that. Yeah.
Amazing. Next question. Let's do it. Okay, next question is, what things do you consider to be relationship deal breakers?
Ooh. Um, it would probably be someone that can't communicate. Um, a lot of people. I think dating nowadays, you see a lot of it. You go out to a restaurant or something, and they're both on their phones. If you're in a date, you should be talking to each other. It's just a time to be finding out about each other. If one person's already on their phone at the point of first contact, big red flag. Big red flag.
One person to go on a date with you, what this person must have?
Ooh. A sense of humor. It's got to be a sense of humor. If you can laugh, the whole world is easier to deal with.
How is the dating life in Sweden? How do you find it? Do you think nowadays, again, back to the phone, do you think technology somehow broke this dating, events that everyone, the past people love to go? Do you see nowadays in Sweden that it's easy, people still, put some thought in it, or it can be difficult sometimes?
I think with everything with modern dating, a lot of it's swipe left, swipe right. So you initially have to get past that to meet somebody. So there has to be, there's no just talking to anybody anymore because no one wants to just talk. You have to go into an app, select the person, hopefully they select you back, and go from there. So when you're in a town like Swindon, um, it it probably can be hard. I mean, I say 20 years ago when I was on the pubs and that, it was totally different. We didn't have smartphones, and okay, that ages me a bit, but it was yes, it was terrifying going up to someone and seeing if they talk to you. But it at least was that if you could crack a joke or something, you might be able to have a chat and go from there. Now you have to be selected from a catalogue of people. So yeah, I think it is probably quite difficult now in Swindon.
I like that. You need to be selected for a catalog of people. It's so true, isn't it?
Frightening, really.
It's a catalog.
Yeah,
I never
no,
seen this.
no. Oh, that one. No, no.
So funny, and that's the world we live right now. You know what I mean? It's a catalog. I will always remember that now. The catalog. Next question. Before the next question, I believe you're part of the LGBTQ plus community. Yeah.
Yes.
Tell me, for you, how was for you growing up as a gay boy? Did you have the support of your family? Was difficult for you? Tell me a little bit about your journey.
So yeah, obviously grew up in the 1980s, as well, formative years in the 80s and 90s, I suppose. I wanted to join the Royal Navy. That wasn't going to happen. My family comes from military background.
Mm-hmm.
But I was lucky compared to a lot of people, although I came out quite late at 27. But I had a very, very good group of friends. And while my family, or especially my extended family, are not very pro-gay or anything like that, I've been independent enough and such to be able to weather any issues, and had my friends to support me in all those sort of situations. So I definitely didn't have it as hard as a lot of other people had it, and talking to other people in the community definitely was easier for me. I wasn't thrown out the house. It was awkward. I think it'll never be a non-awkward conversation.
Yes.
But at the same time, I feel I'm very lucky and privileged to not have had any of the issues, or certainly nowhere near the issues that other people had, such as being thrown out of home, losing connection to parents. I never had any of that. I have been chased down the street by homophobes back in the early 2000s.
Wow.
But that was, I mean, most gay guys can probably relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would say that I have a very supportive family, and I'm very lucky to be in the position that I am now.
Two questions based on that. The first part of the question is, you said you were 27 and came out. Did something happen, or just felt like, okay, let me just be my true self from now on? And the second part of the question is, do you think your parents or your family knew it before you came out?
Well, basically, I was with a girl who I won't mention any names or anything like that.
Well,
But it was basically towards the end of the time. I knew by that time. And what I was trying to do, what I think what a lot of people did at that time, was, if I just sleep with a girl, if I just do this, if I go get married, if I have kids, and there's nothing. I don't want to shame anybody that did that, because there is no shame in that. You're trying to figure yourself out. Back then, again, there wasn't until about 2010. There wasn't a huge network for people to have. I mean, when I was 16, there was like there were gay chat lines at the back of a magazine or something, and that was it. There was no, everyone was terrified of AIDS and all the rest of it, so there was just no connection. So um, I was seeing a girl, and we went away together, um, and I was going to pop the question, and I had a real talk with myself the night before, and I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I realized it was wrong, and I realized I was doing it not for me. I was just doing it to play this is how you should go down the road. And yeah, as from there on, then within weeks of coming back from the holiday, we'd split up, and I met my first covert boyfriend about a month or so later. As for my parents known, I was quite straight acting because I like physical. I was I still am a very physical person. I like physicality. So I want to do the sports. I want to do this. I want to do that. I don't think I'm very femme acting. Therefore, all of what people were expecting perhaps a gay man to be like, I wasn't. So it was easy to hide in plain sight. So yeah, no, they don't. They never said they thought anything like that. I had girlfriends at school, and I had a couple of girlfriends when I was growing up at different points. So everything sort of just carried along.
I see. Okay. Next question for you is, if you could make up a new school subject, what that would be?
Oh, probably. Do you know what? Nowadays, if I could put my experience in that, I would probably do a digital citizen. How to be a digital citizen and how to educate kids from a young age of actually how to engage with life versus digital life, because you hear these terrible stories of people being catfished and tricked and this, that, and the other. But that's because I don't think anyone prepares people for connecting. You have your world, and your mum's next to you holding your hand at 5 or 6, and then they give you this device which connects you to everybody, good and bad, in this world. And you're just expected to kind of know it. Everyone goes, oh, kids all know. Well, they do, but there's always somebody at the side who doesn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say if I was going to make it would be how to be a digital citizen. To watch out for, the guy in the long Mac and the overcoat who in the park might be flashing or something, but in the digital world, it's a catfish or it's somebody who wants to do harm. So it would give people give children, I would hope, more of a defense against things like that.
Actually, I like that. Actually, you might give an idea now. Whatever who's watching this interview, you never know. And I think it makes so sense. I think nowadays you just need to prepare them for this world that we live right now. You know what I mean? We're not prepared, but we are adult already. So somehow we kind of adjust ourselves. But as a kid, I think they need to be prepared for, this even more. Different is gonna be in the future now. You know what I mean? The technology is always changing all the time. So good one. Next question. Let's do it. Next question for you is, what is the most beautiful thing someone has ever done for you?
Oh, wow. Cripes. I think it was a couple of years ago. My partner surprised me on my birthday with a trip to Ukraine before everything was going on. It was my birthday, and I didn't really had no expectation. I thought it was going to be just a card and something nice, but I just got out this book with where we're going.
Oh wow!
And I'm a huge Chernobyl. I've always been fascinated by the Soviet Union, fascinated about the dead city of Pripyat, and so we went, and he took me along, and the poor sod was he's such a Western person. We arrived in Ukraine, got out of the airport, taking the train, and we're going through the old Soviet tenement blocks and all that sort of stuff. And he just turns and looks at me and goes, "Is this what you expected?" And I was like, Yeah, he looked
Like,
terrified. But he did it. He came along, and even though it wasn't his thing, he actually enjoyed it in the end. Going to, you know, he's more of he'll prefer to go to a sun beach or something like that. Whereas obviously, I'm one of these people that wants to go to Pyongyang. I want to go to all the unusual places and see people from different walks of life. So there, that would have been it.
that's beautiful. And he's from Sweden as well?
No, he's from Australia.
Oh, wow. But, and you've been together still?
Yes.
You're together still. Okay, so let's see that he's watching this interview right now and you have a moment, an opportunity to send him a message. What would you say?
Thank you, Tim. You put up with a lot from me. Thank you very much. I appreciate everything that you do.
Oh, sweet, sweet. Next question, let's do it. Next question is, if you could ask for a miracle, what that would be?
A miracle. I think it would probably be quite a simple one, which would be to end the war in Ukraine. Selfishly, because I want to go back there. And
that's the only reason.
I'm not that deep. But it would be that's terrible what's going on over there at the moment. And yeah, if I could stop it like that, I would.
Wow. You just made me remember now. I had the interview with a lovely man from Belgium, and he's Brussels, and he did like a charity thing. He was cycling all the way from Brussels all the way to Ukraine.
Oh wow!
Yeah, amazing. During the when they started the war, and oh my God, he shared so many stories, like what he did and everything. And I think it was such an amazing thing to do. People. It's been 2 years, I think now, isn't it? It became 2 years. Yeah,
and, 3, I think. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it's crazy how the world we live in right now, and it's scary. Yeah, sometimes you go like, my God, nowadays we are seeing that happen. It's really scary. But anyway, hopefully you're gonna go back one day soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Ready for another question? Let's do it. Next one. Next question is, what bores you?
What bores me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't say Zoom calls for work, but we're on a Zoom call. So...
Oh my God! What would you like?
No. What would bore? I think what really bores me nowadays is influencers. I have very, very little time for that group of people. They're always they have their opinion, and they believe that is the only opinion to have, and they will, I believe personally, that they just bore me, and they polarize everybody into these little camps. And yeah, I'm absolutely bored to tears with influencers.
After 1,300 interviews already had on the show, it's the first time that someone say that get bored through Zoom. Okay, I'm gonna check it out this. After that, I might change the way I use the interviews. Maybe I'm gonna go for a different side just because of that. Okay, Peter? Funny. 3 questions left. Let's do it.
Okay.
Before the next one, tell me, what's the meaning of life for you?
Meaning of life for me?
Yeah.
I think it's just to do no harm.
Mm-hmm.
I exist on this planet, as 8 billion of us do, 7 billion of however many it is now, and I think it's really just that I want to live my life in a quiet, happy way, and to do no harm, to try and I'm not going to have kids, though, so to do whatever good I can, even if it's just a small thing, such as my cat is a rescue cat, so when she goes, I will adopt another rescue cat. And yeah, it's there to just to do no evil, and try to spread some positivity in a sometimes increasingly dark world.
And when you think about yourself, when you analyze Peter, what's the biggest joy of being you?
Biggest joy of being me is is a completely and utterly free in a way. I'm very free. If I don't, I'm very lucky and probably again I want to use the word privileged that I don't have any mental illnesses or things that people struggle with. I view the world in shades of grey.
Mhm.
But the most wonderful thing is that whatever will happen to me in this world, as long as I've tried my best and I can do what I can do, and I do totally understand that, yes, I'm a privileged guy with all the little bits and bobs, um, then I'm completely happy with that. And because that I am happy, I'm free. No one can hold anything over me, and I've got nothing in here that's holding anything over me because it
Wow,
could always be so much worse. So yeah,
so true.
that's why I was saying my joy is literally just the way that I am actually happy, and I feel as a very happy person.
What's your star sign, astrology?
Sagittarius. So
Sagittarius.
uh,
Oh, my second one is Sagittarius actually, because my
uh,
first one, yeah, my first one is Scorpio,
uh-huh.
and my second one is Sagittarius. Did you know that Sagittarius they have the biggest hearts compared with the other star sign? Did you know
I
that?
did not know that. I know it's the fire sign and such, and I've always liked the Centaur Archer, but I didn't.
Yeah,
Oh, biggest heart. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
yeah, Sagittarius they had the biggest heart. My first boyfriend was Sagittarius actually. He's a good friend of mine now. Yeah, they have the biggest
Oh,
heart.
fine.
You December?
November, late November.
Yeah, I'm November as well, but I'm 17, so I'm Scorpio, and after Sagittarius. Interesting.
Gotcha.
Cool. Next question is, do you know who is living their, okay. Do you know anyone who is living their life to the fullest?
Do I know anyone that's living their life to the fullest? Um, do you know what? No, I don't think I do. Um, everybody that I know, he's either they can't because of resources or such, or
Mhm.
they won't. Such as my boss, right? He's 17. He's an older guy. He's the MD of a company. Um, he has fantastic resources to do whatever he wants, and yet he still comes to work. Now that might be to him living his life to the full, but to me, I would be off either. Well, for me, I'd be traveling, but for him, maybe I would say spend more time with the family. However, obviously, I suppose it's individual, but from my point of view, at 70 years old, I wouldn't be going to the office at nine in the morning every morning. But thankfully, he's a good boss. So if he does see this, all right.
Yes, I think living to the fullest, as you said, people see it different ways. You know what I mean? I think it's what makes you happy, what makes you the best of yourself. That's how
Exactly
it's.
that. Yeah.
Now
I
I
don't
can
know
say,
whether coming to the office is what would make me happy, but horses for courses.
I mean, I think that, yeah, they can see different ways. Now I can say two questions left. Let's do it. You like dancing?
So yes, I do. I'm no good at it, but yes, I do like dancing.
Okay. Next question is, if you were to raise a child, what are the most important things would you like them to learn?
Respect for others. There seems to be
Mhm.
doesn't seem to be a huge amount of it sometimes in the world, digitally and in real life. So respect for others and to try and understand how other people are feeling, which is
Good one.
sometimes very difficult. Um, if you can understand someone's viewpoint, it's easier to understand why they feel like that, and then you can make some common ground from that.
Amazing. I think put ourselves in their shoes, other people's shoes, it's a good start for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Last question, Peter. Ready?
Let's go.
Let's do it. Last one. Before the last question, tell me what Jiu-Jitsu has taught you so far.
One, it's okay to feel like you're being smothered because you probably are. Uh, two, you can cuddle muscular men by just joining a club.
Now I know. Now I understand why. Now I understand the whole thing. You just said it now.
um, Jiu-Jitsu's taught me not to panic. When I
Mm,
first started, um, the first sparring that I did was against a 17-year-old lad who was told to go easy on me because he was I think he was a relatively new blue belt at the time.
Right.
He knocked me out because I thought I was being clever. He put me in like a head triangle, and I stood up because he was so light. And I went to just slam him, and my instructor is just Brazilian chap, Lucas, popped his hand on my shoulder and said, "You can't slam him." Oh, okay. And the next thing I know, everything went whoop, and I went boom.
Oh my God.
So because I was panicking, I was trying, I've got to get this guy off me. I've got to get this guy off me. Panic, 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 panic. And then about 8 to 10, well, not even that, about 6 weeks later, I'd realized, you know what? Yes, as a white belt, you're going to get popped onto your back. You're going to get some dude in mount or whatever, but it's okay because as long as you defend yourself, you can work out ways to get them off you. You've got time to do things. And so even in stressful situations in real life, that panic response has been pushed right down because jiu-jitsu teaches that, you know what, there are levels. You know, there's your guard, you know, which is your legs, your hips, and so, you know, as they slowly pass through, and even when they pass through your guard, there are still ways of defense right up to those last positions. So yeah, it would definitely be the ability not to panic, to take stock and work out a defense from there.
Interesting. Oh, wow. Did you ever got to learn some Portuguese because of your teachers or not?
Not yet, but I do need to, because there's a few Portuguese lads there, and they get coached directly by the Portuguese instructors, and no one can understand what they're saying. So I need to know what they're talking about. So I need to learn more. So,
do you know any Portuguese words so far or not yet?
Obrigado, and that's
very good one. Last question is, what does money mean to you?
If you'd asked me that 10, 15 years ago, it would have been everything because of that. Now, it's a means to an end.
Mm-hmm.
When I was young, I decided that, you know what, material, well, I suppose maybe as a lot of people do. I was in my 20s, money meant everything because it allowed extra, but then there was status. There was the nice car, the house, the jewelry, whatever, the watch, whatever. Now it is simply pays for my roof over my head, and I save some of it, and then I go on nice trips with it. It's just a means to an end. It's no longer I've got to get it, I've got to get it, I've got to get it. But I think that comes with age, when you start losing things that really are important to you. Though when you're 20, it's unlikely you've lost any friends. It's unlikely you may have lost a family member, but then they may have been 80 or 90, and that sort of computes in the head for how it goes. So you focus on the material because you have nothing, because you're starting off. As you get older and you do have a few things, you realize actually what's more important in this world is perhaps using that money to go and see somebody, to go and experience something. And I think that's the way I view money now, is a tool, not something that needs to be acquired as quickly as possible anymore.
Do you believe that money can bring happiness?
No, not on its own. I mean, it's nicer to cry in a Mercedes than on a push bike, but it's if you have to sacrifice your soul for money, you'll never get it back. You'll never get it back. And I think once you realize that, there are no pockets in a shroud. You can't take it with you, but you can leave some great memories with people without having to spend much money. And so, yeah, that's how I view it now.
I see. Okay. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Okay. Let's start with money.
Tool.
Okay. Family.
Everything.
Sex.
Fun.
Fear.
Ooh. Death.
Life.
Travel.
Love.
Hopefully.
Okay. From someone from Australia, yeah? Religion.
Oh, they're probably going to get flagged for this one, but it's going to be false.
Okay. Politics.
Avoid.
Friendship.
Luck. Oh, no, not luck. Sorry. Privilege.
Desire.
Okay, these are good ones. um, I don't. Do you know what? No, nothing will come on that one.
Okay. All right. Regret.
Time.
Success.
Stability.
Wish.
Be younger.
The wish of a lot of people for sure. Happiness.
Oh, life.
One word for Sweden.
Solid.
One word for England.
Peaceful.
And the last one now, Jiu-Jitsu. One word.
Pain.
I agree. I agree. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your lovely partner for a coffee, and I'm going to ask him, define Peter in one positive word and one negative word only, what he would say.
Positive would probably be supportive. Well,
Okay.
I hope it would be supportive. Negative would probably be impulsive.
Interesting. Okay. Let's play now, Peter, and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But actually, I'm playing Brazilian music, actually. It's a Brazilian entertainer called Xuxa. Xuxa, she's a big star in the 80s. For sure, if you ask your trainer about Xuxa, he'll know, but he'll know for sure that I'm gay. Okay, you can ask me a question now, Peter.
Okay, so if you could look back over your life, if there's one piece of advice you would change you gave to somebody, what would it be?
Oh my God, what a great question. Nobody asked me this question before. Oh my God. Okay, it comes to my mind straight away. It's going to be one advice that I still do it. But more careful now. Let's see. Okay, I always had this personality of, going after your dreams and be persistent, you know what I mean? Believe in yourself, all those kind of things. I always have this mindset. When I was younger, when people, friends and people who come, along my life, whatever they would ask me, William, should I do this? Should I go there? I would say, yes, do it. You know what I mean? Even though without thinking properly about the circumstances, what could happen. So there's a situation that came to my mind now. There was a lovely friend. She had a partner, yes. However, she met someone that somehow bright up her, life, everything. I could see her eyes shining, about that. But her relationship wasn't going very well with this other person, yeah. However, she just opened up with me about that, and she said, I met this person crossed my life, and there's something happening, and I don't know what to do. And I told her, look, follow your intuition, follow your instinct, just do it. Because I didn't think that at the time, but I just told her, just do it. You're gonna think about that afterwards, if it was right or wrong, whatever, you're gonna find out afterwards, but just do it. She did it. It did end up in a good way, let's say, but she didn't go because I said to her to go. I think even though if I would tell her not, don't do it, she'll do it anyway. But when I look back now, I think sometimes, you need to encourage people to do whatever they want to do. However, you need to step back and think about more carefully about the circumstances as well, because sometimes, we encourage themselves and you just tell them to do things, but be more careful sometimes. And be realistic, because sometimes you never know how this can end or how can this, you know what I mean? Nowadays, she's much in a better place right now, and she's in the right place. But at the time after that, I realized that, oh my God, said William, sometimes be careful, because you're encouraging something, and sometimes I think maybe I wouldn't change the way. I just would give the advice in a different way, because I didn't regret, but I think I was a bit I had a second thought about afterwards, and I kind of made me realize that sometimes you just need to think about the circumstances without just encouraging something. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
nowadays I'm more careful about that. But I always say, you know what, this is the reality, but it's gonna be up to you, whatever you're gonna do. But at the time, I had this personality, but like, yeah, do it, just do it. You know what I mean? But nowadays I'm more careful about that, for sure.
That probably comes from experience and life experience. Yeah.
That's so true. That's so true about aging as well, because yeah, you just need to think about properly. You know what I mean? And I always have this tendency. Friends, people around me, they always come for advice. I have this thing about it, and nowadays I go like, okay, so let's think properly here. Let's just have a double think. Let's see in different ways before you make a decision. But to be honest to you, Peter, seeing nowadays when people, they come to ask you, sometimes they just want a permission, sometimes they're gonna do it, you know what I mean? They just want to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Sometimes
to double check.
yeah, see how your opinion, but I think whatever, sometimes you're just gonna do it anyway. That's how I see. Good question. I wasn't expecting that. It's amazing. Did you enjoy the interview? Did you enjoy the interview?
That was good fun. Thank you. Yes, it's an interesting format. I'm looking for. I've been going through some of the different ones you've been doing over the time, and there's an interesting group, a totally massive group of people. So yeah, it's been an interesting experience.
Thanks again. Thanks for taking the time for the interview. I know nowadays we are so busy with our own lives, and when someone, they take their time for you, I think it's a big thing. So thanks again.
Oh,
Before you
pleasure.
go, if you can share a positive message or anything that to live by.
Sorry, a positive
Message, something, message.
Do you know, sometimes things can look black and bleak, and you can think that life, it might be passing you by, or things can always be better. But I've always found they can always be that much worse. Give thanks for what you have. Be content. Aspire to things. But if you can be content with what you have, life gets a lot easier, in my opinion.
Totally agree. Absolutely. I think we need to enjoy and to appreciate what you have right now.
Gratitude, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Awesome. I look forward to it.
And so, regards to your partner, to your friends and family, and you keep in touch. It was a pleasure. Okay.
Will do. Thanks so much. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why do you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye. See you next time.